The before of this closet honestly isn't too awful. The issue is that there's a lot of dead, unused space, and the systems that we have just don't work for us. This ends up with piles of clothes all over our bedroom. The other issue is that our dresser is overflowing with things that we just don't need regular access to. So when I asked my husband what project he wanted me to focus on this summer, he said, the master closet. We really like the Boaxel system from IKEA because there's a good variety of storage options you can use, and everything is 100% modular, so if in 3 months something isn't working for us, we can just move it around. We used the online Boaxel planning tool that IKEA puts out, and it is really user-friendly and made our planning so much easier. After measuring everything out, I ended up expanding the space and putting the long wall of our closet with 4 sections, and the short wall of our closet, the one with 2 sections, next to each other so we could see everything together. This is the rough draft that I made before handing it over to the hubby to make any changes he wanted on his side. He ended up adding an extra basket and such that you'll see in the final version. Let it be known that I did leave a section on the big wall for him to use, and he opted not to. I am not a closet hog. We realized towards the end of the project that 80% of it was just taking down the old stuff and patching and painting the walls. Once that was finished, it came together really quickly. Before every project that I start, I always ask the husband how much he wants to be involved, because I'm actually lucky to have a guy that cares 90% of the time, which I love. It also helps me plan out how much to do on my own and what parts to ask for help with. With this project, he said he wanted to double check the plans for his side and help organize his things, and I was lucky that he saw me taking everything down and jumped right in to help. I am literally the luckiest girl on the planet. It would have taken me so much longer without his help. We poked a bit of a hole in the drywall with a hammer, trying to get the trim pieces out, but with a little drywall repair, it's as good as new. I'm going over the nail holes first just to make sure that I have enough putty, but then I'll go around all of the paint borders and make sure that everything is well blended and won't be noticeable under the new coat of paint. I ended up getting this purple putty that dries white when it's ready to be sanded and painted. It's kind of fun to watch. It changed color on camera. We were really lucky that after our water heater leaked everywhere, the repair people left all of the leftover paint that they'd bought to match our walls. It definitely saved us a good chunk of money, and I already have 1,000 plans for things that need to be patched and repainted. The 4 sections on the long wall did not fit quite as I'd hoped, so we had to cut the wall mounts down, but more on that later. We love these wall anchors. They're sturdy, convenient, and they hold a lot of weight, but man, are they a bugger to get in, especially at that angle where your arm is above your head. The drill tended to strip the anchor, so we ended up screwing them in by hand and then using the drill for the last little bit. With as many anchors as we put in, I definitely got an arm workout. Alright, I'm actually in the frame this time because we learned a very important lesson. When IKEA tells you that 1, 2, 3, 4 sections won't fit, and you give them your exact dimensions and they say it won't fit, and you measure all the shelves and you're like, well, but the shelves would fit. I don't understand. Listen to them. They are right. They don't fit because the brackets, the wall-mounted brackets, add just a little bit of space at the end of each one, and so it really actually doesn't fit. So in this corner, we had to get a little bit janky. We used the old trim pieces that we had torn out, and we cut between the nails that we couldn't get out, and luckily there was just enough salvageable that we could make 2 trims for that. And then we just sawed off the edge of the boards by like about 1.5 inches. And so this side is still hooked in, and then this side is just resting on top here. We talked about whether or not we would use our nail gun and nail it down from the top, but we decided that since the rest of it is all temporary and modular, we would like that one to be as temporary and modular as possible as well. And then once I did that, shelves were checked, then we had to figure out the clothing rod because it's metal and technically we have a jigsaw so we could cut metal. Our cuts tend to be a little bit janky and jaggedy, and that's just not the look I wanted for this. So instead, let me see if I can show you. I bent this piece right here. I bent it out and then I bent it down so that this would have a little bit of extra space. And then on this side, I literally just screwed it into the wall. I'm 99% sure that's not how these were intended to be installed, but it works. So if you too, like me, think that you are smarter than the IKEA closet planner, and you find yourself in a similar situation, you can screw through that hole. Just put a wall anchor behind it into a stud and it'll be fine. Anyways, here is our brand new closet transformation. Yes, my husband's section is amazing. We are so happy with how the closet turned out. We just keep finding ourselves sitting in the closet and staring at it. I call it our little haven. We even brought up some of our folding chairs and stuck them in there because we just end up sitting in there and looking at it. It's just so peaceful and well organized and zen. We could not be happier with how this turned out.